Hello, everyone. 45 minutes for strong arms today. That's what we're doing in our therapeutic yoga class. So what you're going to need for class is nice and simple, just a yoga mat and a yoga bolster to begin with. So what I'd like you to do is have a seat on your yoga bolster. Once you're there, we will get started with a nice, easy breathing exercise to begin. And then we will tackle these arms. So goal for class today is to work on strengthening all of the muscles around the shoulders, the shoulder blades, the elbows, and the wrists. So that's a big task for 45 minutes, but let's see if we can in fact do it. So what I would like you to do is let's start with some of the muscles of our wrists. So take your hands to Anjali Mudra, or prayer pose in the center of your chest. Once you have your hands in that position today, check in that you've got a fairly neutral alignment through your body. So maybe before we begin, maybe do a quick little modification of cat-cow, a couple tucks and tilts of your pelvis. Find kind of the halfway mark and then hinge at your hips. Make sure you've got some weight through your feet. And then bring yourself up nice and tall. Now, we haven't really set our scapula today. So what I'd like you to do is just slightly shrug your shoulders a little bit and then kind of rotate your shoulders back and down. Pull backwards with those elbows, even though those palms are together. Very good. Now that you have yourself in that position, what I want you to begin with is starting to take a nice deep inhale and try to literally pull your thumbs away from one another. And then as you exhale, put the thumbs together and give them a nice, good, tight squeeze. You'll feel that all the way up to your pectoralis muscles or your chest muscles. And then go to your ring or your index finger. Take an inhale. Can you spread those fingers away from one another? Then as you exhale, bring them together and give them a nice, good, tight squeeze throughout the entire chest and arms. Go to your middle finger, deep inhale, lengthen the middle fingers away from one another. Then as you exhale, start to push those middle fingers together and feel your biceps, your pecs, all of your wrist flexors engaging as you do that. Let on go of that one. Go to your ring finger now. Ring fingers, inhale, try to spread those ring fingers as you inhale. And then as you exhale, pad to pad, tip to tip, and then push as hard as you can into those ring fingers. Finally, go to the pinkies. Inhale, open through those pinkies. And then as you exhale, close those pinkies and squeeze and push and contract through the entire front of your chest. Relaxing there, back to the ring finger. Inhale, opening through those ring fingers. Exhaling, closing and pushing and really feeling that isometric or isotonic contraction through your body, depending on where your mind is. Relax there. Go to your middle fingers. Inhale, open them up. Exhale, close them and squeeze and push really hard. And then index finger, that's where we are. Inhale, open those up. Then as you exhale, close and keep exhaling and squeezing and squeezing and squeezing. And then finally go back to those thumbs and inhale, open up those thumbs. And then as you exhale, squeeze, close the thumbs, squeeze, feel through the chest, biceps, wrist flexors, and hand muscles. You've got it. So a nice, easy breathing exercise, but really a good strengthening exercise for most of the muscles of the front of your body, at least. All right. Let's give a little stretch out for those pectoralis muscles that we just already strengthened. So take your hands, interlace them behind you. If you cannot interlace your hands behind you, just gently hold on to your bolster. That will work just as good or just as well. Take a nice deep inhale and sit yourself nice and high. Roll your shoulder blades back. Lift your chest up, lengthen through your neck, gaze up to that ceiling. And then can you lift your arms away from your bottom? Hold right there. Take another nice deep inhale. And then as you exhale, relax the hands down, bring the hands forward. Very nice. All right, let's do a little bit of warming up for our shoulders here. So take your fingers and place them to the tops of the shoulders, middle fingers kind of pointed towards one another. You can do this warming up exercise for all of the muscles of your shoulders in 2 positions. Elbows are pointed downward, so your circles will be here. Good position to do if you've got some arthritis or impingement of your shoulders. However, if you want to get all of those muscles of the shoulders, including the trapezius, bring those elbows up to shoulder height. Once you have it there, take a nice deep inhale and begin to lift up and out with the shoulders and all the way back and down on the exhale. Inhaling forward and up and exhaling back and down. Very nice. 3 more times. Inhaling forward and up and exhaling back and down. Inhaling forward and up and exhaling back and down. And one more time. Inhaling forward and up and exhaling back and down. Beautiful. Bring your arms back up to that shoulder height position if that's comfortable for you. Let's see if we can do a little bit of a dance with our arms here. So what I want you to do is I want you to keep the left hand where it is. Take an inhale, bring the arms straight on out, bring the wrists down, a little bit of neural tension there. Then as you exhale, flex the fingers back up and bring the fingertips to your shoulder. Let's try the left side. Inhale, lengthening out, extend through the wrist. Exhale, flex through the wrist and come on back in. 2 more times on each side. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, make sure that you're in a nice good alignment. Right arm, inhale. Exhale. Left arm, inhale. Exhale. Right arm, inhale. Exhale. And left arm, inhale. And exhale. Very nice. Hands back to Anjali Mudra. Let's go through a couple of breaths here. So take a nice deep inhale. Lift your hands nice and high. Reach your arms to the ceiling. And then as you exhale, bring those hands down. Now, here's what I want you to do. End of that exhale. Push your hands down and into that bolster. Feel your latissimus contracting. And then relax hands back to the center of your heart. Inhale, lifting nice and high. Palms to the ceiling. Exhale. Coming all the way down, and at the end of that exhale, squeeze that bolster. Feel those muscles of your rib cage contracting. Hands to heart, one last time. Inhaling up nice and high, reach for the ceiling. Exhaling, coming down and squeeze through that bolster. You've got it. Now keep your hands down at this bolster. One of the muscles of our shoulders and neck area that oftentimes gets stretched a lot but not strengthened a lot is our upper trapezius. Well, it is often dysfunctional and needs to be stretched. But since we're doing an overall strong arm class today, let's do one nice good exercise to get some good strengthening into the upper trapezius. So here's what I want you to do. Those straps on the side of your bolster, grab them. Now, if you are using something that's an alternative to a bolster, then just place your hands underneath it so that you'll be able to pick it up. So we're just going to be doing nice, good trap squeezes. Now, let's make sure we do an efficient trap squeeze here. So make sure that your chest is nice and tall. Your neck is lengthened in the back, settling through the chin. Now, when you bring your ear or your shoulder up to your ears, which is a trap lift, upper trapezius lift, what you want to make sure is it doesn't come in front of your ear. Your goal is to bring your shoulder up and back behind the ear. All right, let's give it a try. We're going to do 5 of these today. So squeeze, grip onto those bolsters. Take a nice deep inhale and lift up and back with those shoulders as you can strengthen through those trapezius. And then as you exhale, slowly relax down. You've got it. 4 more times. Inhale, pull and lift up and back. Exhale and relax. Inhale, pull up and back. Exhale and relax. Just 2 more times. Inhale, pull up and back. Exhale and relax. And inhale, pull up and back. And exhale and relax. Beautiful. Release the tension off of your bolster. Bring your hands back to the Anjali Mudra. We're going to go through our arms overhead again, but this time we're going to be focusing on getting those muscles between our shoulder blade. So Cactus Pose, goalpost arms, pivot prone, whatever world you live in. It has many different names, but let's really strengthen those deep little stabilizers of the back of our shoulder blades. So inhale, lift the arms nice and high, reach the hands to the ceilings. Then as you exhale, bend those elbows, pull those pinkies back, begin to pull those elbows back and down. But take a quick look at each hand. And can you see if your forearms are perpendicular to your mat? Some posture issues, some weakness through that muscle. You're going to see your hands are a little bit forward. That's a-okay. Just work on pulling those pinkies back as far as you can. All right, hands to the heart. Nice deep inhale, lifting nice and high. Reach to the ceiling. Exhale, drop those elbows down. Get those forearms perpendicular. Pull those pinkies back. Squeeze between those shoulder blades. Hands to the heart. Inhaling, lifting nice and high, reaching nice and high. Exhaling, coming down, pulling those pinkies back, tucking those elbows in. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze right there. Hands to heart, 2 more times. Inhaling, lifting, reaching, exhaling, coming down, pulling those elbows down, pinkies back, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze between those shoulder blades. And final time, hands to heart. Inhaling and lifting, reaching nice and high, exhaling and coming down and squeezing, pulling those elbows in, pulling those pinkies back, and relaxing the hands down onto the thighs. You've got it. Left hand, bring it down onto the floor beside the bolster. Let's do a nice good stretch for the side of our body and latissimus muscles here. Right arm, bring the thumb out to the side and lift that thumb upward. Take a nice deep inhale. Reach that hand nice and high all the way to the ceiling. Then as you exhale, bend through the left elbow and reach nice and high up and over. Sit into that right sit bone. Take a deep inhale. Can you reach those fingertips any higher? Can you exhale and sit into that right sit bone any deeper? Deep inhale into your rib cage here. And exhaling out. One more time. Nice deep inhale into the rib cage. And exhaling out. Beautiful. Inhale, reach that right arm up. And then as you exhale, come back into that seated position. Place that right hand on the floor beside you. Left hand out to the side, thumb lifted, starting at 90 degrees there. Taking an inhale, reaching that right arm up. And then as you exhale, side bending up and over, really turning that armpit up. But more importantly, really push with the triceps on that right arm and sit into that left sit bone. Take a deep inhale, reach the fingertips higher. And then as you exhale, push with that right hand and sit harder into that left sit bone. Now breathe into this one. Deep inhale into the side of that left chest. And exhaling out. One more time. Deep inhaling in. And exhaling out. Beautiful left arm, inhaling it all the way up, exhaling, dropping it down. Very nice. All right. So one muscle, believe it or not, that gets highly understrengthened and underutilized in yoga are the bicep muscles. So we are going to use our bolster once again to do a nice, simple, short bicep curl. Now, in order to do this exercise, it means we can no longer be sitting on it. So what I want you to do is, as graciously as you can, gently straighten your legs, and then slowly just slide yourself back to the back of your bolster so that your knees are sitting kind of somewhere to the front of that bolster. This bolster's got 2 nice little straps. So what we're going to do with those straps is we're going to use those to get some nice, good bicep curls in. So go ahead and grab those straps of your bolster. If you don't have a bolster, you're using something else to sit on, just grab the front of it and you'll be able to get your biceps there. Now, before we do this, check in that your elbows are way in front of your body. If they are not, scoot yourself back some more, because we don't want our elbows ending up behind our body and creating any sort of issue with our biceps tendons. We want them forward. All right, grip a hold of those straps of those bolsters. Just relax your feet down, let your legs be nice and good, but give me a little bit of a staff pose here. So how much can you sit up nice and tall and engage through your abdominals and your spinal muscles? See if you can keep that nice, good, tall position. All right, so here's what it's going to look like. You're going to inhale and pull and use those biceps to pull that bolster up. And then as you exhale, just gently straighten your elbows. Let's do that 4 more times. Inhale, pull and lift that bolster up. Check in that your elbows are to the side of your body. Exhale and relax. Inhale and pull, bicep curl. Exhale and relax. 2 more times. Inhale, pull, bicep curl. Exhale, relaxing. And final time. Inhale, curl those biceps. And exhale and relax. You've got it, guys. So from here, we are done with our bolster. So just kind of push your bolster out of the way. Once you have the bolster pushed out of your way, bring yourself up onto hands and knees. Once you're in hands and knees position, allow yourself to check in that your knees are in fact hip distance apart. Look straight back behind you. Get those ankles and feet lining up with those knees and hips, and then stack the hips straight on top of the knees. Once you've got yourself in that position, go ahead and bring those wrists and elbows forward so that they're stacked directly underneath the shoulders, and have your hands shoulder width apart. Index fingers are forward, thumbs are spread inward here. Really stretch out through those outer fingers. All right. So this is the position of tabletop. Also the position we often do cat-cows, but we are going to work some serious triceps in this position today. So really check in for me that your wrists are not too far back, but they are in fact in line with your shoulder. If you've got really tight wrists, you know what? Even bring them a little bit further today, because like I said, we're going to be doing some nice good triceps. But before we do that, let's go ahead and do a few cat-cows here. So let's take a nice deep inhale, sink your belly, lift your tailbone, shoulder blades, pull them back and down, lift and lengthen through that chest, gaze up to the ceiling. Then as you exhale, use those arms, push up with those shoulder blades, tuck that tailbone under, tuck that chin into your chest, gaze into your belly button. Inhale, sink the belly, sink the tail, lift the tailbone, squeeze those shoulder blades together, lengthen through that chest and gaze all the way up. And then as you exhale, push through those arms, spread those shoulder blades, tuck the tailbone under, abdominals in, chin to chest, gaze at the belly button. One more time for me. Inhale, sink the belly, lift the tailbone, really allow yourself to lengthen through the front of your chest and neck and look up. And then finally, exhale, curl everything up and under, tuck, 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 really spread through those shoulder blades. That's serratus anterior, a real important muscle of your shoulder blades. Gaze at that belly button. Now, from your cat position today, slowly sit yourself back, finding yourself in child's pose. Sit bones to heel bones, belly to thigh, chest to knees, and then gently drop those elbows down, lengthen the back of the neck, crown of the head to the floor, gaze back at those toes. See that nice good space between those toes as you keep your alignment. Take a slow, deep inhale into your belly here. And then exhaling out. Nice, good, slow, deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Pushing yourself back up into hands and knees. Here we go with our triceps. So we're going to do 3 different variations, 3 repetitions of each. What I would encourage you to do is just meet yourself where you are. So don't try to do the harder variations if you cannot keep your core engaged. But I think most individuals will be able to do the first, so let's go to it. So check in that those index fingers are straight, those thumbs are pointed in, and those outer 3 fingers are nice and spread. Spine is nice and long. Go ahead and gently push a little bit up between those shoulder blades to engage those muscles, making them stronger. Elbow creases. Turn your elbow creases so that they are pointed straight forward where those index fingers are pointing. Here's your tricep dip. Take a deep inhale here. Then as you exhale, tuck your elbows in and try to lower your elbows to the floor. Neck is long, chin is tucked, gaze goes straight back between the knees. Then take an inhale, push yourself all the way back up and take an exhale there. You've got it. 2 more times. Nice deep inhale, spread between those shoulder blades, engage those abdominals. Now on that exhale, Can you lower? Let your whole body hinge at the hips as you take the strength into your triceps. Then here, take a nice deep inhale and push yourself back up. And exhale there. Inhale, push through those shoulder blades, brace through those abdominals. Exhale, drop yourself down. Use those strong triceps, crown of the head to the floor or near it. Inhale, push back up. And exhale, relax there. Very, very nice. All right, so let's do one more round before we give these wrists a break. Take that right foot out behind you. So as that right foot is out behind you, make sure that your pelvis is still nice and straight. Hands have not lost their position. In this position, gaze back that your left foot is still straight behind your knee. Your left knee is still directly underneath your hip. We're just taking more load into those triceps here. So if you can, give it a try, but if not, just do the same 3 we just did. Take a nice deep inhale in. As you exhale, drop down into those triceps. Deep inhale, come up. Exhale here. Inhale, spread to the shoulder blades, brace through the abdominals. Exhale, dip through those triceps. Inhale, push back up. Exhale here. I promise there's just one more. Take an inhale, brace, push, exhale, drop. Inhale, push back up. And exhale, drop that right knee down. Sit back into your child's pose. Check back that you haven't let your feet fall or your feet fall inward in your child's pose. Sit bones onto those heels, belly onto the thighs, chest onto the knees. Let's give ourselves a few diaphragmatic breaths because believe it or not, we have another round of those triceps. So slowly lower the crown of your head to the floor, drop those elbows down. You can reach your arms straight out if you feel like you want to give your triceps a bit of a stretch here, or you can keep the elbows bent, whichever you prefer. Take a slow, deep inhale into your belly here. And exhaling out. One more nice, deep, slow into the belly. And exhaling out. Wonderful. All right, last round. Bring yourself back up in this position. Check in that you haven't lost any of the alignment cues of your lower body. So feet line up with the knees line up with the hip. Tabletop position. Again, we're doing some drops of our elbows here. So don't have your wrists too far underneath you. Index fingers forward, thumbs in. You know the drill. Now we've got one round left, and that's with the left leg out. So take that left leg straight behind you. Check in as you take that leg behind you, loading the shoulders more, that the right hip and knee are still stacked. All right, here we go. Take an inhale, push through the shoulder blades, tighten through the abdominals. Exhale, drop down into your tricep press, gazing back to the right knee. Inhale, push yourself up, and exhale here. Inhale, push through the shoulder blades, brace through the abdominals. Exhale, drop those elbows down. Inhale, pushing back up. And exhaling here, I promise just one more. Nice deep inhale, brace, push through the shoulder blades. Exhale, drop those elbows down. And as you inhale, pushing back up and exhaling there, drop that right knee back down next to that left knee back down next to that right knee. Stay in your tabletop position. Let's do a couple of what I call press up pluses. So what you're going to do is it's basically a precursor to downward dog. Yep, we're going to be doing that. But what I want you to do is really just get comfortable with how you kind of add to your press with your arms. So check in with your elbow creases. Let them now kind of line up with your thumbs, angled inward versus all the way straight. Index fingers are forward. Now, keep your spine nice and straight. Only use your shoulder blades here. Take a nice deep inhale and press through those shoulder blades. Feel that contraction around your rib cage. Exhale back to a resting position. Good. 2 more times. Inhale, push through that serratus muscle. Exhale, relax. And one more time. Push up. That's it. Push it up. And exhale, relax. Beautiful. Sitting back into our child's pose, giving those wrists a break. We're going to be doing a little bit of flexion in this position, but let's do a couple of breaths first. So sit bones to heels, belly to thigh, chest to knees, crown of the head to the floor, elbows bent or elbows straight. You pick where you want to be. Take a nice, slow, deep inhale into your belly. And exhaling out. Slow, deep inhale into the belly here. And exhaling out. Wonderful. Now, just drop the elbows to the floor if they're not already. Kind of have your head kind of up from the floor, but lengthen your neck, settle your chin. So kind of keep that nice, good alignment through your neck. Index fingers, point them forward onto the floor so that you've got them in line with your elbows. And here's all we're going to do here. Take an inhale and lift your wrists up. Then as you exhale, bring them down. 2 more times. Inhale, lift your wrists up. Exhale, bring them down. And just 1 more time. Inhale, lift the wrists up. And then exhale, bring them down. Now, take each hand, supinate the hand, turn it up so now the palms are facing up. Figure out how you have to position your hand so that the index fingers are still lined up with those elbows. And let's repeat the opposite movement here. So inhale, pull the fingers up. Yes, those are the muscles I'm talking about. Exhale, bring them back down. 2 more times. Inhale, pull them up. Keep your fingers straight if you can. Elbows on the floor. Exhale down. 1 more time. Inhale, bend those wrists. Forearms stay straight. And then exhale down. Very nice. All right, back up to hands and knees, making our way to downward dog. Such a beautiful exercise for strengthening everything of our upper body. But let's make sure that we go into our downward dog in a nice, good, safe, and effective way. So check in that your knees are hip distance. Hips are stacked on top of those knees. Feet look straight back. Line them up with your knees. And then turn your toes under so that your heels are pointed up towards the ceiling and you can feel the bottoms of those toes touching your yoga mat. Now, in this position, have your wrists and elbows and shoulders all stacked vertically so that you're in your tabletop position. Really check in that your index fingers are forward and really spread those thumbs in. Now, very important for your rotator cuff when you do downward dog to make sure that you've got those muscles contracting, that those elbow creases are not pointed all the way forward. So unrotate those elbows so that those elbow creases again line up with your thumbs. You've got it. Now begin to push into your index fingers and your thumbs. Think out where those knuckles are of both of those fingers and start to press down into them. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Slowly press your shoulder blades apart a little bit. Brace through your abdominals. Take a nice deep inhale here and lift your knees off the floor. So high tabletop. Now, as you exhale, use the strength of those arms to literally push your entire body back as your bottom goes up towards the ceiling. Take a deep inhale here, and then as you exhale, settle those heels down. Begin to straighten those knees. In this position, use those index fingers and thumbs and push yourself back. Lengthen through your neck, settle through your chin, pull your shoulders a little bit away from your ears. Take a deep inhale here and an exhale. 1 more time, I promise. Nice deep inhale in and exhale. Now, coming out of it nice and slow, that's where the strength happens. Take a slow inhale forward as you drop your knees down. Find that strength through your shoulders. Keep those shoulder blades spread apart. Take another nice deep inhale here, and then as you exhale, slowly drop your knees to the floor. Turn the tops of your feet down to the mat. You did it. All right, drop down onto your elbows for me. So as you make your way down onto your elbows, slowly let yourself find Sphinx Pose. So that's where you're on your belly if you've got a sensitive low back, meaning your low back doesn't love extension. You might want to take that bolster or maybe a pillow or something like that and just kind of tuck it underneath your abdomen so that your lumbar spine's not really forced in full extension. But we're not going to be going any higher than Sphinx Pose here. In fact, we're only going to stay in Sphinx Pose to do a little bit of rotator cuff strengthening. So find your elbows directly underneath your shoulders. Once you have that, have the index fingers forward. Allow yourself to find where is the middle position of my shoulder blades here. So if you kind of squeeze your shoulder blades together, let your chest fall towards the floor, and then you pull your shoulder blades apart, find the middle of the road and hold it. Then lengthen the neck, settle the chin, gaze down at your thumbs. All right, from here, slowly allow yourself to turn the palms back up. Again, that supination of your forearm, another muscle that we're strengthening. And then in this position, weight bearing just through the elbows, keeping your abdominals contracted, maybe even a little bit of a pelvic tilt to support that low back. Take an inhale and rotate those thumbs outward on your mat as much as you can. Then as you exhale, bring them back in. Keep pushing through those shoulder blades so all of those rotator cuff muscles keep firing. Inhale, rotate outward. Exhale, rotate inward. Just 3 more times. Inhale, rotating out. Exhale, rotating in. I hope your shoulders are burning like mine are. Inhale, rotating out. Exhale, rotating in. One final time here. Inhale, rotating those arms out. And exhale, rotate them in. Palms down. Pull the elbows out to the side. Lay your chest down on your yoga mat. Okay, so in this position, we're really going to be working on strengthening the back of our shoulders and the muscles between our shoulder blades. So I want you to get your head in a nice, comfortable, neutral position. So lengthen your neck, settle your chin, and kind of rest the crown of your head onto the floor. If that's not comfortable for you, maybe grab a towel or something that might be resting around you, just to have something that you can rest your head on. We are going to be using both arms here, so you won't have your hands to rest your head onto. So once you've found your head in a nice, comfortable position, bring your elbows out to the side so that your elbows line up with your shoulders. Middle finger and index finger are kind of pointed upward right now. Allow yourself to tighten through your abdominals. Give yourself a little bit of a pelvic tilt. Find some space through your low back. Keep those abdominals contracted. In this position, take your thumbs and turn them upwards towards the ceiling. Take a nice deep inhale and lift your arms 2 to 3 inches off the floor. Exhaling there. Now on this inhale, squeeze through the shoulder blades and lift the arms as high as you can. Inhaling and squeeze through the shoulder blades. And then as you exhale, drop it all the way back down. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, keep yourself in a nice, good neutral position. Abdominals engaged, slight pelvic tilt so that you're not irritating your low back. Let's do this 2 more times. So take an inhale, lift the arms so that the elbows are shoulder height. Take an exhale here. Now, shoulder blade action here. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the arms as high as you can. Then as you exhale, bring them back down to the floor. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, hold at shoulder height. Then inhale, squeeze through the shoulder blades, lift those arms nice and high. And then as you exhale, drop them back down. Very nice. So we're now going to be moving to bringing our arms up and over our head in that angle. So if you could imagine, you're kind of making the letter Y with your body. So the Y with the body, obviously the long part is your legs and your trunk, and the 2 arms are up and out. Now, if you've got any sort of shoulder impingement, that doing this exercise is kind of speaking to your shoulder, just drop your elbows right back down where we did the first round. But if you do not, get those shoulders up at about a 45-degree angle away from your head. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. You can have your crown resting, or you can lift your head gently off the floor. I'm just doing that so that you can hear me. Now, let's get a nice stable trunk to move those arms on. So allow yourself to brace through those abdominals.
Really give yourself a good tuck of that pelvis so that you've got a nice stable position. Maybe even push through the tops of your feet and engage through your quadriceps. In this position, step one, thumbs are up. Inhale, lift your arms 2 to 3 inches off the floor. Exhale there. Keep those arms parallel to the shoulders. Then inhale, squeeze through the shoulder blades. Lift the arms nice and high. And then as you exhale, drop them down to the floor.
Now, a lot of you with weak abdominals, when you lift those arms, let it be the arms that you lift, not your low back. So tighten through those abdominals, really keep that pelvic tilt so that you're not overworking your back, you're actually strengthening your shoulders.
Let's do this 2 more times. Lengthen the neck, settle the chin, gazing down at the mat, maybe lifting the head a bit if you feel like you want to. Really bracing and tightening through those abdominals, tucking that tailbone under. I'm going to even tighten my quadriceps and lift my kneecaps off the floor and push into the floor with my feet. That's going to guarantee me that I'm nice and stable with my trunk. Now, with those arms, take an inhale, lift them off the floor parallel to your shoulders. Exhale here. Then, big inhale, squeeze through those shoulder blades. Lift the arms, don't use your back. And then as you exhale, lower those arms down. Relax through the pelvis, relax through the legs. One more time. All right, lengthen the neck, settle the chin. Get with the neck neutral position first. Rib cage, abdominals, tighten them. Tuck that pelvis under. Maybe lift those kneecaps, push into the floor. Really keep that contraction through your lower half. Here we go. Arms, take an inhale, lift them off the floor level with the shoulders. Take your exhale here. Now, big inhale, lift those arms, not the low back. And then as you exhale, bring them back down. Beautiful job. Slide your arms down to the side of your body. Take your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck those elbows in, place them on your yoga mat. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. One more nice good triceps to get us back into child's pose position. So take a deep inhale, and on your exhale, tuck your tailbone, push with your triceps, and sit yourself all the way back into child's pose. Now let's really stay here for a couple of breaths. We were on our belly, and for those of you that may have overused your back, this is your opportunity to kind of release any tension you may have put in there. So let yourself really tuck your tailbone under. Belly to thighs, chest to knees, lengthen through the neck, settle the crown of the head onto the floor, gaze back at your feet, make sure they're not together. Just gently drop your arms down beside your body here. Take a slow, deep inhale into your belly. And then exhaling out. And one more time, slow, deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Wonderful. Gently pushing yourself up, turning to your left or right side, laying down on your side, and then rolling yourself over onto your back. As you're making that action happen, once you get onto your back, it's your pelvis and low back in a nice, comfortable position. Once you have that comfortable position, keep your feet flat on the mat, knees are bent. We're going to go through just a couple more strengthening exercises, particularly for our deltoids, posterior deltoids, and our shoulder blade muscles. So in this position, once you're there, allow yourself to go back into that position where your elbows are at the height of your shoulders and your thumbs are pointed towards the floor right now. So that means that your pinkies are pointed upward. Just for a second, we're going to change that. But get into that position right there. And then once you have yourself in that position, lengthen through your neck, settle your chin, and then turn through your forearms and turn the pinkies now downward towards the floor, thumbs up towards the ceiling. Okay, now in that position, take your elbows, your forearms, and your upper arms. Take a deep inhale and push them down into the floor. Exhale here. Now, take another inhale, squeeze through your shoulder blades. Exhale, relax that contraction. 2 more times. Inhale, push the arms down into the floor. Thumbs are up. Exhale, hold here. Inhale, squeeze and lift through the shoulder blades. And exhale, fully relax. One last time. Inhale, push those arms into the floor.
Exhale, relax. Inhale, squeeze those shoulder blades together. And then exhale, fully drop that rib cage back down onto the floor. Take those elbows, just slide them down beside the body. Fingertips are pointed up towards the ceiling here. Then in this position, take those palms and turn them towards your face so that your thumbs are outward. Keep those elbows nice and tucked next to your side body in this position. Make sure that your rib cage isn't overarched, so get yourself nice and flat on the mat. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, and gaze through your abdominals. Take an inhale, rotate those arms outward. Can you touch your thumbs to the floor? Then as you exhale, bring them back upright. Inhale, outward. Nice, good rotator cuff exercise here. Exhale, inward. One more time. Inhale, rotate those thumbs out to the floor. And then exhale, bring those thumbs back on inward. You've got it. Relax those shoulder blades. Allow yourself to take your hands, interlace your fingers one in on the other, and then take your palms and reach your palms up towards the ceiling. Give yourself a nice, good stretch to those wrist flexors. Take a nice deep inhale here, and then as you exhale, just reach those arms up and over the head, stretching out through those triceps and shoulders here. Holding this position, take a nice deep inhale into your belly. And exhaling out. Take those hands, inhale them back up to the ceiling, and then exhale, relax those hands down. Now take the right knee to the chest, take the left knee to the chest. One nice good opening for your low back in this position. Nice deep inhale here, and then as you exhale, pull your knees into your chest, lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Slow, deep inhale into your belly here. Then exhaling out. One more time, slow, deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Gently dropping your feet to the floor. Once both feet are to the floor, sliding the left leg straight down the mat, taking the right foot on top of the left thigh. Left hand, grab that right knee, right hand out to the side of your body. Take a deep inhale here. Then as you exhale, begin to twist the right leg to the left. Feeling that stretch through your hip, letting that pelvis lift, that low back lift, that rib cage lift. Right shoulder blade stays on the floor. Lengthen through your neck, settle through your chin, and rotate your gaze towards the right. Holding here, taking a nice slow, deep inhale into your belly. And exhaling out. One more time, nice, slow, deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Gently bringing your head back to the center, starting at that right shoulder blade and de-rotating your body, shoulder blade and then low back, and then pelvis and then hip. Placing the right foot flat on the floor, sliding the left leg up, placing the right leg down on the floor, left foot onto that right thigh, reach for that left knee with the right hand, left arm out to the side of the body. Take a nice deep inhale here. And then as you exhale, twisting that left knee to the right, feeling that hip rotate, that pelvis rotate, lift of that lumbar spine, lift of that rib cage. Left shoulder blade stays on the floor. Lengthen through the neck, settle through the chin, turn the gaze to the left. A couple slow, deep diaphragmatic breaths here. Deep inhale into the belly and exhaling out. One more slow, deep inhale in and exhaling out. Rotating that head back up to the center, starting at that left shoulder blade, unrotating through the shoulder, the rib cage, the low back, then the pelvis, then the hip. Placing the left foot flat on the floor, sliding the right leg up, finding a nice, good neutral position of your low back. Brace a little bit through the abdominals, and then one leg at a time, slide your heels down to the corners of the mat. Then gently rest your arms out beside you. We'll make sure that your shoulder blades feel comfortable underneath you. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin.
Take a nice deep inhale here and make a big, tight fist on each hand. And then as you exhale, open those fingers, spread through those hands, straighten through those elbows, and feel that extension through the arms. Gently relax completely. Now, this time, take that inhale, make fists through the hands, and bend those elbows up. Can you take your fists all the way to your shoulders? Then as you exhale, straighten through those elbows, open up through those fingers, straighten through those wrists, straighten through those elbows, and feel that length. Relaxing the arms down one more time, this time adding the shoulders. Begin your inhale with a fist. Let the wrist flex, let the elbows flex. When the fists get to the shoulders, lift the elbows up to the ceiling. Then as you exhale, drop those elbows back down, straighten through those elbows, straighten through those wrists, straighten through those fingers, straighten through that entire arm area, and then relax your arms down. All right, keep your body still. I think we accomplished our goal today. Not many muscles I can think of that we didn't work in one way or another. Hopefully your arms feel beautifully strong the remainder of your day. Take a slow, deep inhale into your belly and exhaling out. Let's do that one more time. Slow, deep inhale into the belly and exhaling out. Start to wiggle those fingers and those toes and maybe some circles with those wrists and those ankles. And then when you feel like you're ready, one leg at a time, slide those legs up. And then very gently rotate yourself to your left or your right side, resting there for a breath or two. On an exhale, and when you think you're ready, bottom elbow, top hand, push yourself up into a seated position, easy pose. Finding yourself in your easy pose. Placing your hands to the center of your heart. Nice, slow, deep inhale in and exhaling out. Namaste. The highest in me salutes the highest in you. Thank you for joining me today.